When you talk, just talk straight into the mic. You can move the mic.
Here?
Yeah, there you go. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and you're listening to KKP at 1440M, 92.1 FM, CNMIRadio.com on the internet. It was a Wednesday morning here in the Commonwealth, 7:40 in the morning, and today is 7-11 day, July 11th.
Nice.
And this is the first time we're having a show, but this is a long time coming. This is something that should have happened a long time ago, but it's always better late than never. And these beautiful folks have stepped up to the plate this morning to come in and talk about it.
Yeah.
This is not an easy subject to talk about. What do you say to a parent when they've lost a child? And how do you react to them? Do you just turn away and say nothing and just expect things to get better on their own? But this is Bereaved Parent Awareness Month, and it's worldwide. This is not just CNMI, this is worldwide. Bereaved Parent Awareness Month. And this month is dedicated to bring awareness to our community about what do we do when you lose a child. Number one. Number two is what do you say to a parent that has lost a child? Because obviously there's nothing that you can do or anybody can do to bring them back. So how do we reach out? And we've got two brave young ladies over here with us tonight, this morning. And we have Miss Connie Tagawa. Good morning, Connie.
Good morning.
Okay, welcome to KKMP. And Tanya Mendiola from the island of Tinian. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning, everyone.
Let's start with Connie. Connie, your story. We spoke a little bit outside, and you said you had a 16-year-old son that passed away 36 years ago.
36 years ago.
My son was 16 years when he got killed by motorcycle accident. And since that time, I don't know how to cope with that because it's very hard. It's very hard. He's 36 years since he died, and I never miss a day to remember him, and I always pray for him. I know he's a good boy. He is in heaven, I know that, but he's a really good boy. Right now, it's very hard to. Well, that day, Sunday, it was a Catholic family day for Mount Carmel students. And it's very, very active that day. And since Saturday, they built at Micro Beach their sacks to enjoy their picnic in Micro Beach. And before he left, he asked me to cook him mozzillas. So I did. And that evening, when that picnic, Mount Carmel family picnic, that day, when he came home, he was so silent. He went into the bathroom showering maybe more than 20 minutes, and I kept waiting for him because he's gonna eat his mozzillas. That evening, because I asked him to come with me and my daughter Joseph to visit the baby of my stepdaughter, because he's gonna be the godfather and Josephine will be the godmother. But before he left, I took out the uniform that he's gonna wear to Mount Carmel next day, because he's on the way to my mother-in-law house to sleep there, because that house is just across the Mount Carmel school. And on his way, he stopped over at the Langkamu Social Hall and beating the classmate because they returning the picnic table, beating the classmate farewell, and he also spoke to one of them that please tell her I love her, you know. And this boy told him that, Joey, come on, you're going to school tomorrow. Why you telling me this? And said, never mind, just go ahead. I think I'm not coming to school tomorrow. So on his way down, he got hit by a chukis, by a motorcycle. And you know, my boy never got into an accident while racing with the dirt bike. He never got into an accident, and all of the gangs and their group who say that he's the only one that could fly up to more than 6 feet or 9 feet, something like that. He's the only one. He's the only. And he always go to Guam smoking wheels. He also went to Yap, and he always win the race. And that day, January 31st, when he died, the following days, within that week, there will be a smoking wheels, and he was looking forward for that. And he did not join because he died before that. But the smoking wheels in Guam, and this is an international smoking,
right?
And that race was dedicated to him. So all of us went to Guam, and but those riders, they're all like down. All like
they're like a family.
Yes.
So your son was riding a bike and he got hit by a car.
Yes, street bike.
Yeah.
Street bike.
Wow.
But he never got into an accident for a dirt bike, I'm sorry. And, well, he died 36 years ago. But still, I still feel bad, and I never miss a day, thinking of him.
How do you manage to keep it together? How do you manage to, continue on living? Because, obviously you take care of yourself. You're a beautiful woman. You're here. You're smiling. You're talking about. You're helping somebody out there.
Well,
how do you keep it together?
Yes.
What do you do to keep yourself?
Well,
focused?
I have to go to the church mostly every day. Every day, and I change my attitude. But after he died, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I change my attitude. I don't. If I see somebody coming toward me, I make an excuse. But, well, I was working for federal government that time. I did not go to work for almost more than 1 month. Our office in Hawaii called my boss, is Connie coming to work? Is she gonna quit the job? And then they called me, and I said, yeah, I'm coming. So I try my best to go. Yeah, but any customer of ours that comes, they like dreaming, I Connie. I try to avoid that.
So people coming to you and saying, I'm sorry, and
yes,
it doesn't work for you.
No, it doesn't work. But honestly, I try my best to avoid those.
So you sort of pull back into your shell and just keep to yourself. You don't want to see anybody. You don't want to talk to anybody.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
What was the nicest thing somebody said to you when you were really hurting?
I cannot even remember because I'm not really wants to hear that.
So you
But
just shut off the whole world.
Gary, during nights I will get up like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and sat on my bed crying. Even on the day.
36 years later.
No, after that.
Yeah. You still remember his birthday?
Yes. He was born December 20. And that's Christmas, the holidays. You know, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
It's tough. And then, when did you say he passed away? What day?
January 31st. That's the day when the last Hong Kong family gathering.
Do you have other kids?
Yes, I have 3 girls, and he was my baby.
Okay.
He's my only boy.
Only boy.
Only boy. And he was 16 years.
And how
He
did
was very good boy, very good.
And your daughters, how did they take him?
Oh, they tried their best, you know. They really missed him. They really. But
Well, he sounds like he was full of life.
Mhm.
And
He was, brother.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh, you know him.
We remember him on the motocross. We knew the names of the folks that were on the dirt bikes on the motocross, and he was one that stood out along with Kimekian, Cepeda, down to Cookie Dam. But he was full of life, and when you needed help, he's always smiling to help. And when we heard the passing, it kind of like hit all of our ages.
yes.
That year, it's like the whole island for our ages. Even if you were not in the motocross, I remember Joy Tagawa. It was a very, very quiet day for all of us. It was very silent. Yeah.
You know that motocross, when he died, it also died. No more racing. And he always say, I'm going to heaven. And there's a note that he wrote. Can I read that note that he wrote
Sure.
before?
Sure. It's all part of it. We're gonna take a break and then we'll come right back with our guest this morning. And this is Bereaved Parents Awareness Month. And even though we don't want to talk about it, sometimes we do still have to acknowledge that things happen, life happens, and we must deal with it. All right, I'm looking for this song for this young lady that's asking for it this morning. Did you find it?
Okay.
Our guest on the mic right now is Miss Connie Tagawa, and she lost her son 36 years ago, January 31st. And she's going to read a letter that he wrote. This is to you, Connie? This
No,
letter was to you?
he just wrote the letter.
Oh, he just wrote. No,
I found it. I found it on his,
after he passed away.
Yes. He said, God created me because He loves me and created me for a purpose I don't know yet. I think that He is testing us right now. I think that He is testing me, and if I pass, I will be with Him in heaven, and if I don't pass, who knows? It's all a mystery. Life is a mystery.
Wow. Wow.
I even received letters from the daughter of some Pope in Hawaii, and there's, you remember smoking wheels? Yeah, pipe dreams.
And
Joe Murphy.
Joe Murphy.
Yeah.
And you
He
can
wrote
see.
something. He wrote something about him, and there's also a resolution from the legislature. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Well, you can't see it because you're listening on the radio, but
Yeah.
Connie has about 20 pieces of paper in front of her, and these are all pictures and also words that were written by her son to randomly, but obviously he was preparing for something.
He was very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, even in Guam. If I come to Guam and I introduce myself, they will not know. But when I say I'm the mother of Joey Tagawa, they're surprised to hear.
Connie, thank you. What a compelling story. And we'll come back to you in just a little bit. But we have Miss Tanya Mendiola from Tinia. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning.
All right. Give us a little bit about your story and how you lost your son.
My son was 16 when he was spearfishing. It was something that he loved doing. Always excited about having his gear ready and going out fishing with the boys or whoever he wanted to go with, or even family members. And unfortunately, most likely his bullet, when the guys went back after the day he passed, they found that his bullet was stuck between the rocks and probably lost some air when he was trying to get it free. So he was 16 years old. He passed away July 9, 2016. So it's really hard to go through something like that. And the whole reason this awareness month is starting is because people like Ms. Tagawa here, the awareness of everything that we go through and emotionally and physically. So this is the reason why we're trying to come together and start something new and start this month to be able to get together and bring this out to the community.
We don't plan for things like this. We
No.
plan for everything. We plan for future. We plan for buying a new car, a new house, a new job. But we never plan for death in our family.
No, we don't. We plan for our kids,
We plan for
Yeah.
ourselves, but not for our kids to die before.
Yeah, we
time.
plan. We make a future for our kids. Get a job, join the military. Graduate from school. And then you always, as a parent, you always plan yourself. Like, hey, if anything happens to mommy or anything happens to daddy, but we never have that mentality of, our kids going first.
Obviously, when you got the news, you were devastated.
Yeah, my daughter was actually running for liberation. She was a batch of, the 31 candidates. So we were coming here that day to close the liberation festivities, and we weren't even here, not even 2 hours. We landed here, got some breakfast, and then as soon as we pulled out, that's when we got the phone call. It was not too long. I mean, it was just everything was quick, and people tell me the word strong. You're so strong, and I don't think we are. I think we're weak. But I think what gets us by, for me, for example, what gets us by, or me and my kids, is that his class of 2018, his friends, they're always at my house, and we keep in contact with the class members. They really try to recognize him as much as possible. So I think that's what really helps me out. So if the kids together can make a difference, and they're young kids, at the age of 16, and you're burying a friend, it's not something that they expect. So I try to, help them out and do whatever I can possibly for them.
He would have graduated this year.
Yes, actually the class of 2018, they came together and they presented me with his cap and gown and his tassel, and we had a seat for him, so his picture was placed on the chair.
I know we heard Connie say that she didn't want to hear anybody, talk to anybody, hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
What were the most comforting words you heard?
For me, to be honest, I don't remember. I've heard condolences. I've heard a lot of negativity. But I think for me, I don't think it was the words. Because words didn't matter anymore. But the comfort that I got from from his friends and his classmates, that was the best part. You get the comfort from your family all the time. You get the comfort from your other kids all the time. But as a whole, with these 16-year-olds, 16, 17, 18, everybody who knew him, they came together, and we would always, until this day, we tell stories. He was so, he couldn't keep still, or, he's always doing this, and, that's the best part. I think there's really no right word or wrong word to I've heard several things where, and I'm pretty sure Connie and other bereaved parents have heard the you need to move on or get over it,
Yes.
or it's really different. You can get over or move on from your mother or your father. Or, some people take it really hard, but when it's your kid, when it's your child, and with me and Connie, it's very similar because he was my only boy. It's very hard, and then the environment of your house changes.
Yes.
So, with the boys, they're radical and they're loud and they can do whatever, right? So, after our boys pass, of course, I'm pretty sure even with Connie, the house becomes quiet. You expect them to walk through that door. You expect them, and I think the hardest part is when we are trying to prepare everything for the funeral and everything. Our mind, we're completely in a different world. And as soon as you're watching that coffin go down, and that's your kid, that's the hardest part. You can go through everything. You can, it's just, but that coffin going down is the reality that, oh my goodness, it's really, it's for real. So, but the biggest strength that I have coming from anybody is the kids. They do slumber parties at my house. They, message me, and we have group chats together, and we come together, we barbecue at my house, and we talk about my boy, and it helps them, and it helps other the other kids.
What was his name?
Giovanni.
Giovanni?
Yes.
Italian.
Yes, he was because he was my only boy. I named him after Giovanni Joaquin. Giovanni is for my adopted dad, and Joaquin is for my dad, Anthony.
Wow. How do you, when it gets to his birthday or his date of departure?
I gather the kids for his birthday. We do whatever that he would do. My son liked to barbecue. He loved to go to the beach. He loved bonfires. So for his 18th birthday, that's what we did. We had the class there. I invited the class, and I don't expect the kids to do anything. I throw everything. And, we had a bonfire for his 18th birthday, and then, we barbecued whatever that he wanted. So basically everything symbolized him. For this year, his 2nd year anniversary, we just had the rosaries, which was completed yesterday. And we did a little honor together with my nephew, Salvatore Giovanni, also, because the following year after my son passed away, my son's nickname is Gino. So that Gino came from my oldest nephew in Guam. And so it was a really big loss for me and my kids. So this year we kind of put them together and did the rosaries. So, and then after that the kids came up to the house last night, and the other night, and we just kind of had a little barbecue and a get together with family and his friends. Never just a big thing. It's always about the kids.
Did you sort of pull into yourself?
Yes, I'll be very honest, and this is the reason why this awareness is important to me, because the depression I've had, depression. Excuse me. I wouldn't get up from the bed. I didn't even care to shower, Suicidal thoughts, yes, it's there. At one moment it was just like, a cliff would be nice right now. But then I pray every single day for, God to get me through there. And I look at my 3 girls, and, I have 2 more girls that need to graduate from high school, and then I just get up and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this to myself. I'm not going to do this to my kids. But when holidays come around, birthdays and his anniversary, there's still that depression. There's still that emotion that it's been 2 years, and like Connie, 36 years, we still cry. So, like I said, people expect us to get over it, and we can with other family members, but when it comes to our kids, we can't.
You find yourself seeing his friends, Giovanni living through them?
Yes. Yes. I am called mom. I think I have, like, with his, we have a group, the kids named themselves G's Housing Crew. We have the G's Housing Crew, and then we have the class of 2018. I love these kids to death. You know, I see them every now and then. I watch them. I've seen his friends grow up, and one of his best friends since elementary actually just recently graduated on Guam, and I flew out there to be with him because you know they had it hard. You know, they're 16-year-olds and they're burying their friends, so I try to make sure I'm there for them, and you know they come around and they're there for me and my kids, and you know it's mom or it's you know his sisters or so. You know they don't have to. I didn't force them, but that's what they are. You know, because I'm Giovanni's mom. I am now mom to about 60 children.
Which is better than one, right? You got more is better.
As long as they don't lock me up in the old age home and start, you know, prescribing.
You'll never get there. Look at Connie; she's happy. She's out there. When somebody says "get over it," what are you thinking? And what would you like to say back to them, even if you don't? You know they're trying to help.
They're trying, and I give everybody credit for trying to be there for us. But to get over it, I think there's just so many, you know, upon doing some research, I think there's better ways to maybe say get over it. You know, I think there's one thing that I read where we would like to talk about our kid, because some people, you know, they don't want us to talk. See, this is the reason why I'm so with his classmates and his friends, is because we talk about it. Whereas with adults, they don't want to hear something like that. Whether they don't want to imagine or they don't want to listen. But for us, it's like, I really don't know how to say this, but if we want to talk about it, you know, allow us to talk about it. If you really are a true friend, listen. That's all we ask. Is just listen and allow us to be us. There's a lot, and this is, like I said, this is the reason why we're pushing this, because we really, really, really just want people to be aware that it's not. Before, in the Chamorro culture, right, we're not allowed to say something. We're not allowed to talk. But I think now
times have changed.
Yes, times have changed, and we really need to make a difference.
You know, and then, as you said, you know, sometimes silence is golden. When, you know, you don't sit, when somebody's talking, just listen.
Just listen.
Maybe that's all they... Connie, did you find people that wanted to listen to you?
Yes. Yes.
In your family members?
Yes.
Okay. How about in the church?
Also in the church, but sometimes they don't want to like make me feel bad. Sometimes they just, you know, just looking to each other. That's it.
And your other daughters, they're very supportive.
Yes.
Okay. They've done well. They're all grown now.
Yes.
Are they listening in today? Did you tell them to listen in?
Unfortunately, one in Alabama, one in Guam. Only Josephine is here.
Okay. That's good. Wow.
Yeah, my son birthday December 20, and he asked me to pray Novena Niño and in on his birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, and I say, and what we're gonna do? We're gonna invite somebody to join us, and he told me, no, only you and me. We kneel down and pray. So we did that, and that was his last birthday. It was very close to Rudin Pond, and he's the only one that he cannot find him. And the reason that he cannot find him, because the wife getting birth that day. So That's the reason that he did not find him.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Well, as you mentioned to her about planning, oh, yeah, you won't believe this, honestly. I was so prepared. I was just sitting, guessing, is Josephine or my son? You know what I'm going to say. Anyway, I prepared everything for my daughter's clothing, for my husband's clothing, and for me. And I also looking into my house, which, because of those days, there's a wreck, not the same as now. So I was looking where to place the body. I was so prepared. Yeah. That evening when we did it to that Capitol Hill to receive the baby, we took, Josephine and I drove because he doesn't want to go. He wants to stay because he was very tired from the picnic. So we went with Josephine and we stopped over there at where the Bank of Hawaii before Puerto Rico. And I told Josephine, let's go back and take the other car because I'm sorry, because this car will, we will go and, when we go, we will have an accident. So we went back and took the other car. So we went to the hill, Capitol Hill. Gary, honestly, I felt it. Honestly, I was holding my hand. And this is before he died. I think that's the time when he got in the accident. I was holding my hand. I pick up my legs on the chair and just telling myself, my son got killed. My son got killed. And everybody was looking at me. My daughter and my stepdaughter and the husband. Everybody was looking at me. So when the telephone rang at their house, my God, I was already screaming, crying. My boy got died. My boy got killed. There, nobody wants to answer the phone. So Joseph went and picked up the phone. There was Joseph Castro. I know he was working for DPS. Then I asked, is she died? She got killed, And then Josephine looked at me and said, Mom, I don't know, but this is Joseph Castro. I said, ask him what he wants. And he told her that, do not go to your house, go straight to the hospital. So when I went to the hospital, I found Pali Hussein Vito Gomez already saying the rosary. And he was on the stretcher. I went in, I'm sitting down, and Pali say, don't shake him because he has internal bleeding. I say, no, Pali, I'm just gonna look at him. Oh my gosh, I heard he took his deep breath, and then this thing, the saliva coming up, it's a green stuff, which is the mositas that he ate that evening. And I told Pali, look at him. And what we call this, the blood coming up, turning red to the face. I said, look at him. The saliva is coming out, the green, the one that I made for him. I cooked for him. Pali was so soft. So anyway, I think he was waiting for me. He was waiting.
That's your son. We all grieve differently, and we all come into these situations differently, and really there is really no words to say. but our love and our thoughts and our prayers just go out to you. And you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share with us?
The one thing we're doing is I would like to invite the community to the Walk to Remember here on Saipan.
When is the walk to
July 26th.
Right on.
It's 10 o'clock.
No,
Yeah.
that will be 5:30 p.m.
Oh,
The
in
walk
the
to-
evening? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the Walk to Remember. Right when everybody gets off of work. You can bring pictures of your loved ones, and they will be displayed on the table. We're encouraging those to wear white, and it doesn't really matter how you want to do it. White is for hope, black is for grief. There will be a potluck, for that day. So the route is, what did I say? Yeah, and to Micro Beach, and then or to Micro. And Jill and Donna are the ones who are coordinating that. We have flyers out. So we have, and then there's Rose Hope also, who's assisting, and myself. So we encourage everybody to come out and this is another way where parents can actually tell their story and be a part of that community of grieving parents, and just be there for each other. There's an example that I used that I talked about on my Facebook, where I work for the Veterans Affairs. So among the three of us, there's Bernie Dela Cruz, myself, and Velma. All three of us have lost our kids or our sons.
Mm.
And we use that as we talk to each other, we comfort each other, and with our job too, we can put in a little bit more compassion to mothers who have lost children, who serve in the military or anything. So it's a something that we come together at work. And then we also, whenever we need each other, we are there to comfort each other. So this Walk to Remember, and sitting down with each other, with other parents and other community members, and we were able to share stories and just be the support.
Absolutely. Connie, anything else you wanted to share?
Can you please, I don't know if you have in your...
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have it already.
Yeah, but he really loved to sing before he died.
Oh, yes, of course.
He always sing that.
Well, it's been a real inspiration for me to listen to you two today, and I'm sure that a lot of people out there are truly inspired.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, 4.
4? Oh, okay.
And truly inspired and by your stories. And it's obvious from your stories that your son was full of life. Your son was full of life. They had a passion. Because, sometimes you ask parents, so what does your son like to do? I don't know, But for you two, it's so obvious, he enjoyed motorcycle, he enjoyed motocross, your son enjoyed spearfishing. By the way, at our fishing festival, Tinian brought in 2 coolers of fish. Your son would probably have been part of that group. That's probably his friends.
He probably would have. I think I did see a post about that, and I'm pretty sure that
Is that his friends? Some of them.
I think so. Yeah. There's a group that I saw that they had brought in a cooler of fish, and I did look at it, and I was just like, oh, I wish my son was a part of that. And
he was probably showing them where the fish were.
Probably, you never know. There's times where my brother-in-law goes fishing, and right on that spot where my son was, and he'd just catch a large one just for the family. So who knows?
Who knows? Anyways, your stories are truly inspiring, and we're looking forward to continuing, on this path. Again, as you said, before in our culture, our island culture, we don't talk about these things. We just
not allowed to.
We're not allowed to. We just leave it out. But times have changed, and we do need to inspire each other. And I think this is one of the things that you do. And when you do talk about it, you know better than me what it does to you, and you just have to heal on your own. time in your own ways, because each person is different. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for coming out, and thank you so much. We'll be there on the 26th down at the Manatchimaro, 5:30 in the evening, and this is going to be a walk to encourage one another and know that God is still alive and we all still take care of each other. Thank you so much, Connie. Do you have a shout out, Tanya? We'll start with you.
Well, just for other parents who are going through the same thing as what we're going through. And thank you very much for having us here today and helping us bring out the awareness.
Yeah, and we're going to bring the story. Connie, shout out.
Yes, thank you very much for having us here. And I know I can hardly carry it, but well, I have to, to express what the mothers and the child is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play. Thank you so much.
Okay.
This is for Connie and Tanya and the rest of the parents that have lost children. One day at a time.